The time is 9 o'clock, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, this is Clinton Davis with your CHMA local news. As Black History Month has begun at Mount Allison University, student groups are marking the month with a mix of celebration and education. This year's National Canadian theme marks 30 years of Black History Month. That is the official recognition of Black History Month in Canada. This year's events began on campus with the raising of the Pan-African flag beside the Owens Art Gallery last Friday. One of the student groups taking part in event organization throughout the month is the Caribbean Students Association. Known as the CSA, they support students from across the Caribbean studying in Sackville. I spoke with Jalen Minnis, co-president, and Mikhail Paul, the group's social media manager, about the organization itself and the month ahead. Paul is a fourth-year Mount A student studying music. He says that while leadership changes over the years, the purpose of the group has stayed the same.
So what we try to do as the Caribbean Student Association is provide a safe place for all Caribbean students on campus. So very often you would see us having potlucks or game nights where the students can come to our home where they feel more comfortable.
Paul estimates the CSA currently has about 30 to 40 active members, but that every Caribbean student on campus has registered with the association. Minnis says the number of Caribbean students on campus changes from year to year as international enrollment fluctuates and international migration policy changes.
Every year it gets lower and lower because of the international students coming to Canada. They're cutting down on that, so it gets lower and lower. But I think this year we had a good amount compared to last year.
Both agree the CSA focuses less on numbers and more on what the group provides. A lot of what it provides is support, and a lot of that support happens through informal gatherings rather than formal meetings.
So we just try to provide a very safe place and something that can remind them of home, because being far from home is very hard.
Paul says it's those kinds of gatherings that also connect to Black History Month events happening across campus this February. The CSA is planning a Valentine's-adjacent Caribbean music party on February 13th at Ducky's, along with a second Afro Island-themed party later in the month. Other student groups are also organizing trivia nights, workshops, and cultural events throughout February. Minnis says adjusting to life in Canada can be a shock for many Caribbean students, especially during their first year.
Some big culture shocks. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of an adjustment, but I got lucky because my brother was here.
The CSA also helps new students understand cultural differences when students arrive from the Caribbean, including how pronouns and consent are approached on campus.
Moving here, so one of the first conversations we have with them is the pronouns. Like, pronouns is very big in Canada now, and I know it's not in most Caribbean countries.
Paul says those conversations then move into discussions around consent, especially in social and party settings.
In Canada, you have to get a verbal confirmation of she wants to dance with you, because consent is very big, and I think it's very important.
We took a few minutes to discuss context. To add a little bit of context here, and in the interest of Black History Month, a little bit about the islands. In many Caribbean countries, it would be considered the appropriate thing to do to attempt to dance with a girl without direct verbal conversation, albeit perhaps body language beforehand. The mere act of asking a girl to dance in many parts of the Caribbean and Caribbean cultures would certainly guarantee a rejection. In Caribbean cultures, attempting to dance with a member of the opposite sex is the expectation. If the person doesn't want to dance, they'll move away. If the person attempting to dance doesn't get the message and persists or is aggressive, that's when the problem starts. And it's very important to the association to protect their students here, to keep them focused on grades and not other kinds of troubles from innocent intent. In addition to the fun celebration, history, and cultural education, a student bystander intervention session led by Black Lives Matter New Brunswick's Matthew Green takes place on February 23rd. According to the Mount Allison website, additional programming will be presented for faculty and staff on campus. While a date isn't set, Paul and Minnis say the groups are working on a community potluck during the month intended to be more public-facing and community connecting. But the month will wrap up with a Black Excellence Gala organized by the Black Students Union. Have you ever attended a Black History Month event? Do you think you might this year? Drop us an email and let us know your thoughts. If you have questions, comments, or stories, again, email us at news@chmafm.com. And I'm Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News here in Tantramar.
Hi, I'm Anno, and you're listening to CHMA.
Hey, this is Hannah from Woodstock, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here is your CHMA Atlantic update for Monday, February the 2nd. Another nor'easter is bearing down on the Atlantic region this morning. Yesterday, Environment Canada put parts of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia under winter storm warnings. In Nova Scotia, up to 25 centimeters of snow is expected by this afternoon. And in Newfoundland, up to 50 centimeters of snow could fall by Tuesday, with strong winds expected in coastal areas. And snow that's expected today across Nova Scotia has forced the cancellation of Groundhog Day event with the famous prognosticating rodent. The Nova Scotia government says the annual February 2nd event at Shubenacadie Wildlife Park is cancelled due to the forecast, which it says could create poor driving conditions for people headed to the park about 50 kilometers north of Halifax. In a statement announcing the cancellation, the government says Shubenacadie Sam will not see a shadow, which, according to folklore, means an early spring. Police in New Brunswick, in the New Brunswick capital of Fredericton, have charged a woman after a fire at a local Tim Hortons. Officers were called in the early morning hours of Wednesday to the Union Street coffee shop, where they found a fire that had been set intentionally. The 30-year-old accused is charged with arson, causing property damage, and is set to appear in court today for a bail hearing. Photos posted to social media appear to show damage near an entrance of the Tim Hortons. And the incumbent mayor for New Brunswick's capital city of Fredericton says she won't be running in the spring's municipal elections. Kate Rogers says on social media she's proud of what's been accomplished while in the role, but that it's time for something new. Rogers was named to the role in 2021 after serving as a councillor, becoming the city's first female mayor. Municipal elections are scheduled for May the 11th. And a town in central Newfoundland is still under a state of emergency and partial evacuation after icy rivers jammed and flooded. Dennis Butt, mayor of Badger, says the floodwaters are receding but very slowly. There's also a boil water advisory for residents in the area. Butt says that advisory will remain until the water passes 2 consecutive tests. And the Nova Scotia government is kicking in an additional $950,000 to its diversion funding program to help people experiencing immediate housing challenges. The funding announced Friday is in addition to the $1 million currently in the budget for the program this year. The province says the increase in funding is in response to increased demand. And finally, the HMCS Charlottetown is on its way to the Indo-Pacific region for a 6-month deployment. The ship left the port of Halifax yesterday, headed to support 2 different missions in the region. Operation Neon, which will see the crew of Charlottetown helping implement United Nations sanctions against North Korea. And that is your CHMA Atlantic update. Let's check out some weather. And let's see, we didn't get that snow that we thought we might be getting, but I think to be honest, I was keeping a close eye on the New Brunswick Sackville forecast over the weekend because of some driving I had to do for basketball, and it didn't say we were going to get a bunch, but I think I was anticipating that we would all the same because Amherst was under a severe storm warning, and we didn't really seem to get much at all. The official word is it's currently observed as -5. Wind chill says it feels like it's -11. There's a big gray sky out there, but it is not currently actively snowing. The word from Environment Canada is that today you can expect it to be cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries early this evening with a risk of freezing drizzle. Wind north 30 gusting to 50, becoming 20 gusting to 40 by this afternoon. Wind chill minus 16 this afternoon, minus 16 this morning, minus 9 this afternoon. For tonight, cloudy with the wind northwest 20, becoming light in the evening, and the low of minus 9, wind chill minus 12 this evening. For Tuesday, the 3rd of February, a mix of sun and cloud, wind up to 15 kilometers an hour and a high of minus 2. Wind chill minus 11 in the morning and minus 4 in the afternoon. Tuesday night, cloudy with a low of minus 6. For Wednesday, the 4th of February, cloudy with a high of minus 3, cloudy periods, and a low of minus 8 for Wednesday night. Cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries coming in on Thursday, high of minus 5. And Thursday night brings cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries again with a low of minus 12. Just a mix of sun and cloud on Friday and a high of minus 5. Flurries coming back again on Friday night with a low of minus 11. Flurries for Saturday, the 7th, with a high of minus 9. Continuing into Saturday night, flurries with a low of minus 14. And Sunday brings back a mix of sun and cloud and a 60% chance of flurries, high of minus 9. That's your CHMA weather. Let's get you Brian Nielsen's super fantastic sports update here in just 2 seconds. Here we go.
Three games in the National Hockey League yesterday. We'll begin with telling you about the Carolina Hurricanes with a 3-2 overtime victory against the Los Angeles Kings at home. The late game saw the Anaheim Ducks defeat the visiting Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 at home, and at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, for the Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series game, it went to a shootout where the Tampa Bay Lightning won 6-5. Tampa Bay at one point in the second period was down 5-2, but inspired by the first ever goalie fight at center ice between Swayman and Vasilevsky of the Lightning. The Lightning are inspired to score 4 unanswered goals to take the game over the visiting Boston Bruins in what surely gave the fans their money's worth and more. In the NBA yesterday, the Boston Celtics defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 107-79 at home. It was the Detroit Pistons embarrassing the Brooklyn Nets, a 130-77 final in the Motor City. Heat beat up on the Bulls. They win 134-91. Toronto Raptors, they get by a tough Jazz squad 107-100 in downtown Toronto. Wizards by 4 over the Sacramento Kings at home in Washington 116-112. The New York Knicks also scored 112 points, but the Los Angeles Lakers only scored 100 in Madison Square Gardens, giving the host team the victory. The Los Angeles Clippers defeat the Phoenix Suns 117-93 on the road. It was the Spurs by 9 over the Orlando Magic 112-109, and San Antonio Cavaliers 130 victory over the Trailblazers, who could only manage 111 points. And finally, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder by 10 points, defeating the Denver Chicken Nuggets 121-111. Over the weekend, it was the final of tennis's first major of the year, the Grand Slam, the Australian Open, and it was Rybakina who defeats Ariana Sabalenka to get back into the winner's circle at a Grand Slam event, and Carlos Alcaraz defeats Novak Djokovic in 4 sets to secure a career Grand Slam, meaning he's won the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open once throughout his career, but not yet all in the same year. Speaking of winners, the Mount Allison Mounties volleyball squad was in action yesterday on the road in St. John, and they defeated St. Thomas 3-2 in that one. Men's basketball, they played at UMBSJ yesterday, and they lost by 30, 94-64. The women, on the other hand, also played against the St. John squad, and they were victorious 70-53. Mounties hockey, they take a 7-1 loss on the road. They went up against the St. FX squad. The PWHL, they're on their Olympic hiatus. They won't be playing games again until the end of the month as the Milano Cortina Olympics start later this week.
And that was Brian. That was Brian Nielsen with CHMA Sports Update. I'm your host, James Anderson. Let's get into some community updates right about now. Sorry. Oh, my. Okay, let's just double check what the municipality is saying these days. We got Winterfest coming up, and let's see if they're talking about that just yet. Thanks for your patience, folks. Just give me 1 second. Oh, the Town versus Gown. Bring a food item for the Sackville Food Bank and check out the annual Town versus Gown game this Thursday. The best players from Mount Allison will face off against some of the top players in Tantramar. That is Thursday, Friday, February the 5th, 7th. My God. It's Thursday. It's February the 5th, and it's going to be at 6:30 p.m. at the TVMCC. Those are the facts, folks. Again, that is the annual Town versus Gown Winterfest game that everyone loves and supports the local food bank. Another program they're promoting right now is that they have Grants 101. It's a practical interactive session for nonprofit organizations looking to strengthen their approach to grant funding. The workshop covers the full grant process from clearly defining your organization's purpose to identifying the right funding opportunities and building strong relationships with funders. You'll learn how to write clear, well-constructed proposals, develop realistic budgets, and use language and visuals that support your application. They'll also talk through some common grant challenges, clear up some frequent misconceptions, and touch on the ethical use of AI tools in grant writing. And that's going to be happening at the Mount Watley Community Hall, March 15th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get more details at tantmarnb.com. And today is World Wetlands Day, February the 2nd. Wetlands and Traditional Knowledge, Celebrating Cultural Heritage. It's a program they've put together. And they have Tantramar is a proud wetland city. Didn't know that. Well, I did know that actually, but I just said that because it came out. But there is a wetland photo contest. If you have a wetland photo that you love, you can send it to them. They're accepting in 2 categories, ages 18 and under and over 18, up to 5 photographs per person. You can email entries to visitor, singular, visitor at tantmarnb.com. And yesterday was the deadline. So we'll see the results of that coming up soon. So they haven't shared it just yet. So I'm assuming that the deadlines, that was that. But you'll see the results coming up February the 9th. And the winners will receive a gift box from local businesses, and their photo will be featured on the 2026-27 Visitor and Events Guide. And you can drop in today on the World Wetlands Day. You can stop by the Tantramar Visitor Information Center between 3 and 5, and they'll have some treats, some wetland-themed coloring pages, hot chocolate from Cafe Tantramar, and a large rubber duck for the first 25 young people who arrive. There you go. Okay. Let's, and I just saw here in the booth, they've got the brochures out for the Winterfest, so let's give a quick rundown on what's happening coming up this weekend, the 5th to the 9th. Starting up on Friday, they got some pickup hockey at 9 a.m. at the Civic Center, craft day at the Sackville Public Library from 10 till 5, Legion Luncheon from 11:30 till 1, down at 15 Lawrence Street, Royal Canadian Legion. Lunchtime skate, Tantramar Veterans Civic Center from 12 to 1 p.m. Pickleball from 1 to 3. Don Bernard Magic Show, 5:30 to 6:30. Amazing high energy show with lots of audience participation. Perfect for the kids of all ages. That's going to be over at Church by the Lake, 14 Church Street. Ice sculpture creation at Bill Johnston Memorial Park at 7, going into 8:30. Frosty Outdoor Party and Barbecue, 7 to 8 p.m. And 7:30, Mount Allison is doing Games and Grooves. That's a percussion duo with Joel Cormier and Jocelyn Bianchette, exploring the world play in every sense. That's going to be at the Brunton Auditorium, 7:30. And the Winterfest fireworks, 8 p.m. down at the Bill Johnstone Memorial Park. is where they're inviting you to come out to. Quickly through on Saturday, I have the Fireman's Breakfast at 7 a.m. going to 11 a.m. Sackville Farmers Market, of course, 9 to noon. Family Day drop-in morning with the Winter Wonderland, 10 a.m. to 12, and that is going to be at the Drew Nursing Home. Winter-themed story time at the Sackville Public Library. Outdoor skate at the Dorchester Outdoor Rink, 11:30 till 1. Family Day at Beach Hill Park from 1 till 3. Free family swim at the Mount Allison Athletic Center, 2 to 4. Make Something Sunday, Valentine Gift Jam. And that's going to be over at the Owens from 2 to 4. A GIF in the, some people call them GIFs, but it's bring your Valentine ideas to life in a simple looping animation called a GIF or a GIF, depending on who you are. And you can do that 2 to 4, Sunday at the Owens. There's going to be an indoor snowball fight at the Drew Nursing Home from 2:30 to 4. An evening snowshoe at Walker Road Trails from 5 to 7. That's all on Saturday. On Sunday, 1 p.m. figure skating production at the Tantramar Veterans Civic Center. And that's the Sackville Skating Club. We'll be putting that on at 1 p.m. Free family swim 2 to 4 at the Athletic Center pool. Winterfest Food Bank skate 3 to 4:45 at the Civic Center. A Super Bowl 2026 party at Church by the Lake at 7 p.m. Yeah. That's there was a couple more things on Thursday, February the 5th. There's going to be pickleball 9 to 11, lunchtime skate 12 to 1:30, STEAM activity at the Sackville Public Library from 3 to 4:30, Dorchester pickleball 5:30 to 6:30, and the Town versus Game charity hockey game 6 p.m. And that again was on Thursday the 5th. Yeah, there you have it. Okay, that's Winterfest, and of course all that information is available on TantaramarMB.com/Winterfest. Okay, it's 9:21, rolling out the last of the morning show here on the Voice of the Marshes. Let's get that news outro going, and then we'll get some music rolling. And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
The Women's International News Gathering Service is an all-women independent radio production company that produces and distributes news and current affairs programs by and about women around the world. Wings airs on CHMA every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
The voice of Craig Mavasva. Missed that voice so much. Craig is not on air these days. Hopefully he'll come back someday. But yeah, is up in the sky. If you're ever looking for Craig, just look to the sun, and you might see him up there. Because he's in aviation school, folks. So let's get some music going to take us out of the morning show. Let's see what we have. Good morning, Siley. I've got some Wild Little Spring with Path, some Abby Wood, and some Karen Campbell coming up with you. And yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 8:30. And yeah, I think that's everything from me for today. Double checking the CHMA schedule as is a thing that I like to do. Monday is pretty kind of consistent as not too many changes. But what I will mention is that we've got a couple podcasts that will not be on air, but it is a thing that we do. We do quite a bit of podcasting. We have a dedicated podcasting studio, so we can help you with training with that and the technical side of those things. But we also have something that we've come to find out is very useful to folks, is a means of distributing and helping get your podcast out there, which is no easy task. So we have a built-in system within CHMA that is very easy for you to take your episodes and upload them yourself, time when they get released, and they get populated to not just the CHMA schedule, but they also get populated to our on-demand as they're released. And We give you a link so you can populate them in your favorite podcasting platform. So that might be Acast or Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube. You get to choose, because everybody knows where their audience is. And all you have to do is just upload your episodes, and you can have all kinds of access to, changing the titles and all that kind of stuff. But it's very, very easy to do and very effective. So right now, it's what are the two? I'm just double checking right now. We just... what are the two new podcasts? One is for a class that just started up in the fall, and they just released it. That's Ensemblages and Collaborations, which I should have said in French, but I didn't. But they've got 4 episodes of that podcast up right now. It's with Dr. Christy Bell and Gillian Smith, Sophia Esterbrooks, Cameron Somerville, and Bree Smith. Contributed to that podcast. We just released that a little while ago. And CHMA Nature Talks just released its first episode last week, and that is with Meredith Chasson and Brittany Comier. And that's, their first one is up, and it's called We're Going on a Bird Count. So they're going to be, I'm not sure how the rollout is, maybe once a week, but they've been working on it for a while now. So that's very exciting to finally get that out there. If you're ever looking for one, you can find it at chmafm.com. And also just check the socials, because we'll be promoting it on ours. But CHMA Nature Talks, that's a new one. And that's from community members, Maria Dietz Chasson and Brittany Comier. So that's exciting. And if you're interested, it's open to anybody. There's no real process. The booking for the studio is open. But let's just while I was talking about the schedule, let's just finish up talking about the Monday schedule, because things have changed a little bit, not too much, but Making Contact is up at 10 o'clock. Eric Gohill has moved into the 11 a.m. Hosting hour. Siley Singapore is back and taking back on the 12 to 1, excuse me. Democracy Now! Is up after that. Joseph Lunan, our newest and youngest staff member. That's right. Not youngest programmer, but just on staff. First year student is jumping on 3 to 4. Ashna is 4 to 5. Maya Noel's on 5 to 6. And then we get into our evening program of Let's Be Honest with Angie and Kiera, Quesadilla de la Band with Max and Ayoko, and East Track Mine with Heidi O'Connor at 10 p.m. So a wonderful full day of programming here on the Voice of the Marshes. Thanks for tuning in, folks. It's 9:27. I have that song from, what did I promise you? It wasn't Kate LeBon. That wasn't what was going to be coming up. But no, it was Wild Little Spring. Yeah, we're going to put that Kate LeBon song and then some Abbey Wood. And then I'll play the Kate LeBon About Time after that. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Too Late from Abbey Woods here on the Voice of the Marshes. And I will be back tomorrow morning.
You could have told me that you don't want this. Wouldn't be sorry. I could move off it. Won't catch me jealous, but I caught you careless. Can't even look my way. You know that would make you say, baby girl, I miss you and I'm sorry. Didn't know you'd be here at this party. I'm already drunk and feeling sloppy. Can't take the feel of you off me. Baby, why'd I leave you in the first place? Though you always put me in first place. Now you see me in the worst way. I know this message came too late, too late. I bet you see the truth when you look in my eyes. I won't say too much, I know you realize. If you were someone else, they would apologize. Now you still in trouble dealing with your pride. I can see the pain and you don't have to hide. Hate to say it's too late for you to say, baby girl, I miss you and I'm sorry. Didn't know you'd be here at this party. I'm already drunk and feeling sloppy. Can't take the feel of you off. Baby, why'd I leave you in the first place? Now you always put me in first place. Now you see me in the worst way. I know this message came too late, too late. Came too late. sorry. Didn't know you'd be here at this party.